Hey, sorry about that.
Yeah, so we are live now, and great. I'll kick it off here. We got viewers all across the web here. We're broadcasting on Twitter, YouTube, even LinkedIn with the Pixelcraft account. So I'd like to welcome everybody. My name is Jesse. I am the co-founder and COO at Pixelcraft Studios, summoner of Aavegotchi, one of the summoners. And yeah, we're going to have a great conversation today. I'm really excited to be joined by some of the team at the Sandbox. And the reason for that, of course, is because the Sandbox Aavegotchi experience is live on the Sandbox right now. And it's live for about one more week. It's a very special gamified experience where users and players can come in and actually experience a sandbox version of the Gotchiverse. And if you're unfamiliar with the Gotchiverse, it's basically the home of the cute little ghosts we call Aavegotchis. And they are all, full of lore and background that really is expressed so well through the story in this sandbox game. It's a solo-based quest where you go through and you actually explore inside the castle walls, which are very famously called the Citadel in the Gotchiverse. And then you go beyond and find out that there's a lot more to the Gotchiverse beyond the castle walls. And you get to explore a lot of that in this really well-done experience. So the team, the kind of backstory of how this came together is the Aavegotchi DAO presented the idea. One of the kind of teams within the DAO is based in France, and they're called the Gotchi French Army. And they had this idea about over a year ago. And so this is a labor of love that's come together over a year process. And it's a success story in every way, whether it's the funding through the DAO, whether it's the collaboration and the interoperability between the Aavegotchi metaverse and the Sandbox. And there's a number of ways that that's been done very effectively. And I hope to see more projects follow suit in what the Sandbox team was able to do in collaboration here. And a number of other things. So today we're going to go through the game itself, learn a bit about what it's about, what the inspiration was. We're also going to talk about the avatars. And so if you own an Aavegotchi, you also have a Sandbox voxel version of that pixel ghost. And we're going to talk about how that was achieved and the work that went into that and how maybe other projects could follow suit. We're also going to talk about, stick around for the rewards part. There are some big rewards for playing this game. Some of them involve GHST, the Aavegotchi Ghost token, and the Sand token as well. But there's also some very tangible rewards that I think a lot of viewers will really enjoy and want to get their hands on. Some limited edition, very special books. So we're going to unpack that a bit and end with some giveaways. So this is definitely the place to be. You want to be ready for it. And yeah, let's kick things off here by bringing up our friends from the Sandbox. And if GFA, the Gotchi French Army, is here, let's also bring them up. And we'll kick off this AMA conversation. Goes to say it's an AMA format, so we'll also be looking forward to your questions. Send them in as you go. Cedric.
Hello, everybody.
Well, hello. How are we doing, guys?
Great. I mean, it's rainy everywhere, but it's a great day, and I'm very happy to be there with you guys.
Awesome. Well, we're happy to have you here. I've been working close with Gotchi Farmy over this year, putting this together. And on one or two occasions, we've gotten to interact with some of you and your teammates. But this is actually a great time to come together and kind of celebrate the success of this project and take a look back at how it came to be. Gotchi Farmy, are you with us too? You want to say hello?
Hello, friends. Yeah, you hear me?
Yep, nice and clear.
Nice to see everybody here. It's really nice. Cool. Yeah, well, I spoke with you a lot during the last months, and to see everybody on stage here today, it's very cool.
Yeah, it's a long time coming. So in terms of, Gotchi Farmy, you were really, I would say, the captain of the ship, making this a reality. Would you like to start with, the origin story of the game, and then we can go from there and how this all came to be?
Yeah, so Thanks a lot for being here, guys. Well, I think the idea is part of a group of 8 people at first. So there is a ship, but I have a lot of very good sailors with me. The idea came from a live Twitch we made with the JFA community, and we thought like, okay, we love Aavegotchi, we are 100% in Aavegotchi and everything, but why Aavegotchi isn't in the sandbox yet? We should try to do something. So we produced a proof of concept represented, as you mentioned, Jesse, to the community, and people liked it. And that was the starting point of discussions with the Sandbox team. So we met during NFT Paris last year. We met Sebastian also. After that, Corentin became our main point of contact. So thanks to him, because it was very nice to work together for 6 months, I guess, on that project. The story we wanted to tell is that interoperability in crypto, I think that's the key word for the next months and years. And we wanted to highlight and to demonstrate that two major projects can collaborate in that way.
Yeah, and I just shared the screen here of kind of the header image. It is that interoperability, right? Because we see these are Aavegotchis, yet they're in voxel format. They're in the sandbox. All of this is happening in the sandbox, and one of the big ways that we did achieve interoperability here, which really blew my mind, is the way that the voxel version of the Aavegotchi is linked to the NFT, the original Aavegotchi NFT. That is quite powerful. Now, who could speak best to how that came about? Is that you, Cedric?
I can. Yeah,
okay.
I can. No. Yeah. Interoperability is really something close to the heart of Sandbox, of Sebastian, of Arthur, and that's something we have tried to do for NFT collection for almost 2 years now, when we started thinking about how we could do. So the way we do it, it's only based on ownership of the token. So we just check on the token ownership if you are the owner of this token. So when you connect to Sandbox X, if you have this token in your wallet, so this Aavegotchi, the PFP, so the system give you the access to the voxel version of it. So it's really linked to ownership. It's linked to the Web 3 and to the blockchain. If you sell your Gotchi, or if you acquire a new one, you will have access to the new one only, and the owner of the old one will get access to his NFT too. And that's very cool for the owner, because they don't have to claim, we don't have to drop them something. It's very easy for the owner. And that's it for how we connect that, and how we try to make it easy for Aavegotchi and for the others, because it's something we try to replicate and to make it scalable, so interoperability become more and more easy for everybody. Yeah. Does it answer your question, Jesse? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great overview of what it is and how it works. I guess just it's worth a little more time, because from a technical point of view, like, this had to be a relatively heavy lift. We're talking about 20,000 different Aavegotchis. Now, granted, it's different wearables and different.
So,
yeah.
When we get in touch with the French army of Gotchi, we were very excited. I mean, it's such a huge project, and you craft, you custom, you equip. That's I mean, much more complicated as any other collection we did in the past, where actually it's just a PFP that was sold. And so we were very excited. And I think we kind of underestimated a bit the difficulty and the challenge, the technical challenge of that. So we went through our usual process. So as you can see, we have to move from 2D to 3D, actually. So we have to adapt the model. So we have to make some artistic choice. And we have to match that also with the model of an avatar inside Sandbox, because inside Sandbox you can play thousands of games. Yeah, maybe something that needs to be said, that your Gotchi can play obviously the Gotchiverse inside Sandbox, but can also play any other Sandbox game. So it's a bit of the technical challenge we have to do, and we couldn't, for instance, for those who crafted and get some equipment, we couldn't represent that on the voxel avatar, because in game you might equip any kind of asset. So if it's part of your skin, if it's part of your avatar, that brings you some I mean, that will look very strange. You will have your already equipped from the skin, and on top of that another weapon or another something else in the hand, for instance. So we made some choice, never alone, always discussing with Aavegotchi teams, and that was not so complicated for the design part of it. But then came the technical part, and then we have to say we hit a small wall here, because as you say, 20,000 Gotchis, but also 8 million transactions, Gotchis that evolve, that equip. So when the only stuff we are looking at and which is relevant for us is ownership of the token. So it took a bit of time, and I know the community has been very passionate for that. We tried to communicate as much as possible with the Gotchi team, because first time it failed because looking at all the type of transaction was just too many and it was going too slow. So we adapted our pipeline in order to just look at transfer operation. And then later on, we hit another wall because of the number of transactions and the number of Gotchi. So our pipeline, our infrastructure faces some issue. At the same time, we were launching a big event also with a lot of stuff going on the platform. So, but we kept working on it, and in the end, we succeeded. And now we have, I think, thanks to this project, we have improved our technical capability and optimize our process of bridging, of interoperability, and very, very cool to see it. And we were all very happy, and we were cheering when finally we succeedingly bridge all the Gotchi. Yeah.
I think it's one of the biggest stories here is that the technical achievement. I don't think this has been done before. Obviously, with Aavegotchis, it hasn't been done before. And they're dynamic NFTs. You know, these wearables, when you see this voxel ghost in front of you, each of those items can be removed through a transaction on chain. So that's what Cedric's talking about when he's saying, you know, there was a lot to look at here. And it's a little different than just bringing in some PFPs, importing them, and making a call there. So
I have to say that our bridge is not yet fully dynamic, meaning that if the owner of this Gotchi take out his jacket or his hat, the voxel version will not adapt like that. So at the moment, there is several ways of doing that, and we are looking to make it more dynamic in the future. But it's another level of complexity. So yeah, don't expect your avatar to adapt dynamically to something you did, but already matching what was the situation when we made the snapshot for the arts in June or July was already quite a challenge. And hopefully maybe later we will be able on our side, it's a project on Sandbox side to make this bridge dynamic, or maybe we will update it from time to time. Yeah, so there might be some difference. The more time passed, there might be some difference between the PFP that change because the community evolved and the owner crafted and decided to change some traits, and the voxel version, which is for now the one that was in June or July. Yeah.
If I check my understanding, and Gotchi Farmy, correct me if I'm wrong, but you were telling me like, yeah, the manual aspect is the snapshot. You guys can take a snapshot at any time to see the kind of live owners at the moment. But that snapshot is a decision you guys make at a certain point. We're going to do an update, and I think that's still quite powerful.
Let me be clear. The artistic snapshot for now is fixed. and it's from June or July, I don't remember. So that's the traits we use to generate the voxel Gotchi. But the ownership is live. Like on real time, we are checking transaction, and ownership will follow. It's just the skin will not change as quick as the people, the owner will change it. But ownership is live. There is no way your Gotchi, the Gotchi owner don't get access to their Gotchi. If they sell it 6 minutes later, we will have recorded and check the blockchain. And when someone will connect, as soon as a Gotchi is not in your wallet or is in your wallet, you will have access. You should have access to this Gotchi in Sandbox. If not, it's a bug.
Right.
and we all know bugs can happen.
Even Aavegotchi project also has another level of complexity, Jesse, with lending. And we made a lot of tests with your team, Cedric.
True.
Like, yes, because it's dynamic. We made a lot of tests. So I think it's max 10 minutes, the update for the ownership. So it's very fast. And the lending is working very, very good. Like you own a Gotchi, you lend a Gotchi for 1 day, you have it. And when it's over, it goes back to the owner wallet. So it's very cool.
Yeah.
We can see Gotchis in a lot of different Sandbox experience now. So it's very
Yeah,
nice.
that's very fun. Gotchi dancing with Paris Hilton or making crazy stuff with Care Bears. And just if I can go back on when because the picture you just showcased, Jesse, it's, as you can see, we added the feet. It's because because when you do a platformer, when you do a race, for instance, you have to jump, and so it's from a game design. It makes a lot more sense to see your feet when you play. So but it was very fun to look and to experiment this avatar without actually legs and arms, and so really happy that we made it.
Me too. I mean, the first time I saw it, I was like, "Oh man, this is great!" Like Gotchis with floating hands and feet. It's the perfect compromise because these do play a certain role inside the sandbox, and they need to be able to compete and not be at a disadvantage to the other avatars. So I think it's really endearing.
I think if we talk about the philosophy of interoperability, it's like transmedia. At some point, it cannot be a copy paste of the stuff because each ecosystem, each metaverse has its own specificity. So we need to take some adaptation. But the question is, how do we stay true to the original PFP or NFT? And that's what we always try to do. And we were quite proud of what was done for Gotchi. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think it would be boring if it was just a copy paste. It needs to be something that is inspired by and tied to the original Gotchi, but this is a perfect example of what it should evolve to be. It's clearly a sandbox avatar, but it's also linked to this Aavegotchi NFT. So I think you guys did an amazing job. While we got quarantined, I'm quite curious, like what was your experience through this process? Where did you come into it, and how do you feel about these avatars?
Well, hello everybody. So I was a live producer on Sandbox side. So I was following the experience production, mostly with Gotchi farming, at every steps from the conception, onboarding into the GMF, and into the launch. So a week ago. So I'm really happy and excited to see it happen because, as you said, it's already a success as it was a complex project. So we had the experience, there's a second experience in the making. We had the avatar collection, we have equipment, NFT collection to sell. So a lot of complexity and a lot of interesting stuff for an experience that is complex. And I'm happy that it's happening. So I'm really excited to see it live. And I'm so happy to have some feedback from the Aavegotchi community through the GFA team. Yeah, it's amazing to be here.
Yeah, Quentin, I think you and I played similar roles on different sides of the Gotchi farming. Gotchi farming was, leading the build team, and you on one side helping him. I was on the other. I think we got a couple times, and it was a pleasure working with Gotchi Farming, especially, similar experience as me. So very professional, very inspired work.
I have to say that with Aavegotchi, we tried to do everything actually: the experience, the collection, the equipment, a lot of the sandbox dimensions actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
was a lot
true,
to
Cedric.
coordinate and actually. Yes,
Yeah,
sorry, Sean.
at first, the idea was to make one experience and a half, like the single and the multiplayer, because the version 0.9 of Game Maker was around the corner. And yes, I think with the support we got from Jesse and Aavegotchi, plus the support we got from you guys, because it seemed like you liked the idea to do something like a bit like a rabbit hole, I would say, because it's deeply Web3 project. We managed to add the avatar at first, and after that the equipment collection. So on our side, it was a very exciting experience also because we saw the scope enlarging through the process. You know what I mean? Like more and more things to do together, and I think it's a nice one in a whole piece. You know, it's not like separate things. It has like a real dimension on its own. It's quite logical the way it's settled, and yeah, even some surprises to come in the future. So yeah, nice.
Probably a good time to remind people listening in. We're going to take your questions. Also, at the end, we're going to reveal some rewards and do some giveaways. But before we get to all of that, I just see here along the bottom, the scroller, that is the URL to actually jump in and check this experience out, right? If you're listening in and say, okay, this sounds very interesting. Let's see what they actually built, and can I hop in? You got to go to sandbox.com, and then it's under the events, right? The Aavegotchi event. So take that URL and go ahead and check it out directly. And Quarantine, maybe you can talk a bit about the how-to, like how do you gain access to this, and do you need an account? What's that process like?
Yeah, so to create an account in the Sandbox is quite easy. I guess as the Aavegotchi community is quite Web3 oriented, you just need to connect through your wallet to create an account. And then you can just through the link, you will jump into the experience page and you can directly play. Feel free also to browse all the map. There are plenty of experience to play with your Gotchi. And soon we hope another one, maybe experience in the Gotchiverse. Yeah, so I don't know if we have a link to, but once you're on the website, you can go, I think it's in top right corner to sign in or create an account, and it's pretty easy to get one.
Yeah, and people have been hopping in from the Gotchi gang and really enjoying the process. There's a number of like things that you can do in this game. That it's a great like solo exploration of Aavegotchi, and there's a lot of lore and stories that are told through here. You even meet my avatar at some point. I love that, Gotchi Farm. Thank you for that. Maybe Gotchi Farm, you could talk a bit about like what should people expect from this experience? What from a playability standpoint, what is this game about?
Yeah. So the starting point of the game was really the single player one was to be an educational space for people not knowing Aavegotchi project, and also try to find some ways to use the fun Sandbox can provide to add things that already exist in Aavegotchi. So about the educational content, it's mainly how does the Aavegotchi project works, what you can do in the Gotchiverse, that kind of stuff. And about the Sandbox ways, it's about to use the Sandbox power of gaming client to explore pieces of the Gotchiverse that weren't released yet. Like, for example, spoiler alert, the Dark Forest and the beach. So we thought it was a really cool way um, to to have the best of the two worlds. Yeah.
Yeah, I still got to unlock the beach level. I'm going to be hopping in again and creating some more quests. How many quests are there? And what would you say is about the playtime to go start to finish on this game?
Well, For me, it's 15 minutes, but I made it, I would say, hundreds of times. No, I would say the nice way to do it is to take your time and look at all the details, because there are a lot of things hidden in it. You can see all the little bazaar with you have a Burger King bazaar, you have whatever you want. You have a lot of things you can look at. But I would say if you just play for the quest, someone who is used of sandbox mechanics, it would be 30 minutes, something like that, 25 to 30 minutes. If you just focus on the quest, if you are like someone who takes his time, yeah, I think it would be 45 to 1 hour. Yeah. So it's kind of a nice experience gameplay. It's your case, Jesse.
But looking for Easter eggs is always a good stuff. I mean, I like to do that too.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
There's so much to like explore from the design side. Go ahead, Farmy. Sorry.
No, I just wanted to highlight that there is a big Easter egg planted in the experience. Well, it's not big as a reveal, but it's something very well hidden in the experience. You can find only in one type of configuration. So yeah, I won't tell more, but it's said now. And nobody
Yeah, there are
found
a
it
lot
yet.
of secrets hidden in the experience. It took me a long time to find them all when I was testing the game in the production phase. That's pretty amazing, I think.
One question, guys. I'm not aware of this answer, so really, it's a true question. Are you planning to let this experience open after the event, or is it how do you plan to do that?
Well, I'm gonna start, and I'm gonna let Jesse complete what I will say. So right now, Aavegotchi just embarked in the Sandbox world. So Aavegotchi doesn't own parcel yet.
Okay, I got it.
So at the end of the event, the experience should maybe stay live, but it would be temporary somewhere. But after that, I think Jesse Aavegotchi has the the will to maybe own a space in Sandbox, right?
Yeah, we can confirm that on this AMA. We've been getting some guidance on getting some good real estate in the sandbox, and we want to get that done so that we can make this a more
Great.
permanent establishment. Yep, we're
Oh,
very
that's
excited.
good. So anybody would be able to invite their friend to look at this world, even if the event is closed. Like, yeah.
Yeah, there's just too much work that's gone into this, and it's such a charming project. Like, it would be a shame if it only lasts till, I believe this current event goes till November 23rd, right? So people still have plenty of time to hop in. The rewards are tied to this event, but for sure we should be able to. We want to make it possible to continue to enjoy this world beyond. But maybe that's a good segue into. Well, here, before we do the rewards, I want to understand what's at stake here with this event. We did have a couple questions that were just popping up on screen. Let's bring the first question back. I think I can answer this one. Do we need to purchase new Aavegotchis? I have mine from the portal, but not really sure if they would apply here. Assuming you've taken it out of the portal, you've summoned it, and now it's an Aavegotchi that's yours, and you can pet it and dress it and play with it, then of course, I think it's so easy. You know, the first time I tried this, I went over to Sandbox, made my account. There's a sidebar that says avatars. I clicked on that, and my gotchis were all there waiting for me. I mean, I didn't have to do anything. They're just there. So you should totally go over to Sandbox and see if your Aavegotchis are there waiting for you. I'm very confident they are. And I love that, by the way. It was just, so many things are friction induced in crypto, but this is not one of them. Like, you guys did all the heavy lifting.
Yeah, actually, the friction we still have is that for the people who are not Web3 familiar, they still need a wallet. They still need at some point maybe to some Sand or some stuff like that. But if you already have a wallet, you don't even need Sand. You just need to connect, and the Gotchi is there. So when you are already from Web3, it's very, very easy interoperability within Sandbox, yeah, for Avatar. Yeah.
That's great. And so, yeah, and in terms of the land, we're going to get some land, and then Gotchi Farmy, I hope your team can maintain and keep the experience up for everyone. And that's kind of the plan, right?
Well, we would be more than happy to do that, but as we are a DAO-based project, I think that would be also at some point some discussion maybe to run with the DAO about what should become the Aavegotchi presence in the sandbox. We like the idea. Aavegotchi is based upon the DAO, to be honest, and we love that spirit. That's the reason why I'm so involved in that project with you guys, Jesse, Kodadan, and the whole team. So I think that's typically the kind of project, the kind of success that came from the DAO. It's really twilight. So I think there should be part of the decisions to be taken upon what to do next. What would be the entity in charge of maintaining the thing? We would be 100% happy to do it, as we made it, of course. And yeah, that's part of the thing. Definitely,
Yep.
we want to continue to contribute, and that this partnership can continue. Yeah, of course.
Right. So if you have your ghost tokens and your Aavegotchi avatars, you have governance authority in the DAO. And I hope, the DAO played a big part in funding this and making this even possible. So shout out and kudos to everyone at Aavegotchi DAO that played their part. And then you're right, that kind of had a limited scope to get to where we are today, to this event. So it would totally make sense that hopefully the DAO will come together and realize and decide to continue to support. I guess you're right, though. We have so much talent in the DAO. Others could step up and also do maintenance and contribute to the Sandbox experience.
Yeah, exactly.
But obviously, you guys are very qualified as well, being that you built the game. So I see another question here. This one looks a little bit more nuanced. Let's see if we can answer it. Yao asks, how about renters who play Sandbox and the duration of Gotchi is until the end of the event? Are they eligible for the rewards? Okay, so we're talking about on Aavegotchi.com, you could rent an Aavegotchi for a limited period of time. Yeah, I do not know the answer. I think this is quite nuanced.
As it's
Yeah, I've checked the live stream last week. So there's a check that is done usually within a week after the event is closed to see who is holding the avatar. So to be eligible for the reward, you have to have the avatar in your wallet or rent it within the week after the event closed. I don't know exactly when the snapshot would happen. It totally depends. But if you want to be sure, gotta keep it within a week.
And you need to have done the quest also, of course. Yeah. But it's maybe an obvious one, but yeah.
Yeah, so and you need to buy a Gotchi, of course. That's the best way to do
it. Amazing. Okay. Let's see here. Now, should we get to the rewards part? Talk a little bit about what is the other half of this. If you happen to play, there's a number of really cool incentives and kind of on-chain assets that are at stake. And then there's also some really special stuff that is entirely off-chain that I can't wait to talk about. So where should we start?
I think maybe, Jesse, if we can display the event page, that's a good starting point because all the rewards are described there. I can. Do you have the link, or you want me to put it?
1 second.
Okay, I can put it in the chat also.
Yeah, let's pull those up and we can just see them in real time on the Sandbox website. So right here, on the side of the event.
Exactly.
Let's zoom in on that.
So as mentioned, so the avatar owners are eligible to a pool of 15k cents. So Corentin will add the details after, but you need to finish the experience to be eligible and to get your avatar. You also have a pool of reward for Aavegotchi NFT owners. So as Jesse streamed at the beginning of the live, we have 3 sets available. 2 sets are suited for regular Sandbox avatars. Okay, so medium human, And the last one, which is called the pet set, it's suited for Aavegotchi avatars because, well, it's a bit different in the geometry, the 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 little avatars. So that's the way we have three sets. So you have different rarity, but you just need to own one piece. We don't. We are not looking at the rarity to be eligible to that pool. So same conditions, I guess. Corentin will confirm, but you just need to have it in your wallet within a week after the end of the experience.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't say wrong things. And the last point is about the graphic novel. So it's a little surprise we worked on as the rest. Also, it wasn't part of the initial proposal as the avatars and equipment, but we really wanted to do something specific to reward people engaging in the process. Oh, we have it. Great. Engaging in the process to receive like different reward as the one you can see oftenly on chain online, but more like an in real life reward for people. So it
This is
was.
some
Mhm.
this is some incredible memorabilia, and am I safe to say it's called Ripples of the Gotchiverse? This is going to follow or even go further than the story that we play through in the gameplay?
Exactly. Yeah, that's based on the story told in the experience, which is part of the official Aavegotchi lore. So in line with the standard canons and bringing new pieces to the story. And yeah, the book goes a bit deeper in the story and opens some doors that could be explored in the future also. So yeah, that's the way to complete what is live in Sandbox, and also to have like a unique piece of history as the first batch, which was be distributed in that way, are gonna be unique. So it would be the first edition of the book. So it's quite nice, um, and we think. We thought that it could be a cool collectible for the community to have. Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. I mean, I think if people are familiar with the artist that you collaborated with, Stellar Hobbs.
Stellar Hobbs. Yeah, very, very nice artists, very deeply involved in the Aavegotchi community. Uh, Personally, I love his style. So yeah, we were very happy to work with him. And as you can see, it's a specific interpretation of what you can see in the Sandbox map. But yeah, we love it.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, Cedric and Quarantine, have you guys had a chance to really go through and I think you guys also worked with the story and maybe gave some feedback? I mean, it's less, you probably have less opinions about the canon and what should or should not be in the lore, but how did you guys react to the story and how does this stack up compared to some of the other, I know you have a lot of amazing like experiences in the sandbox. How many of them are so story based and heavy with lore?
So I'm on for my work. I'm working on the avatar, so I haven't played at all the experience when it was produced, and so and I haven't played it yet for the moment. So, but that's something I will do for sure. On the contrary, I think Corentin played a lot, and you know quite well the story.
Yeah, so at first I was not really acquainted with all the Aavegotchi lore when the project came in. So I first dig in a bit when the JFA team came to get the support from the GMF, and was already amazed by the work and the lore of the Aavegotchi project, and also the community was really implicated in this lore and really into it. So what I really like about this experience in Sandbox, there's many references of the Aavegotchi initial project. A lot of Easter eggs, a lot of little jokes there and there that you can find. So I guess for the Aavegotchi community, it's like the perfect experience to as Gotchi family said earlier, if you'd like to stay a bit and not just focus on the main quest, but explore all the area, you can find many references. Hamilton point that makes you smile, or do you like have. So that's, yeah, as you mentioned about other experiences in the sandbox, this part is really pushed, and I really like it.
And something I
Fine.
didn't mention at the beginning, but there is also a specific space on the map we took a lot of time to work on because it felt very important for us. It's the guild space. So I think it's just an introduction to all the things the multiplayer features now allowed in Sandbox to do. But now this map is a single player one, but typically the guild space would be the perfect place to have on a multiplayer map where people can join and join as community. You know what I mean? Have specific events, that kind of stuff. That's typically the spirit of that kind of thing, I guess.
Look or watch a replay of this MMA, for instance, later on. That's something we can do also now.
Good point.
Just one point. When we discuss about the equipment, at some point, yes, it's true. You design specific set specifically matching the size of regular avatar and Gotchi's avatar. But people who doesn't know, they actually they can equip any type of equipment. Whatever the size of your avatar, you can equip anything. It's not restricted. That might look strange or clunky, but that might also look very fun. So it's up to you. But it's very cool. I think you took great care to design an avatar, a set that perfectly match the Gotchi avatar. Not all the community are doing that, and that means you have a perfectly fitted equipment set, and I think it's very cool.
Yeah, let's differentiate between equipment and the avatars. So here I think is a good visual example, right? In the center we see actual equipment for the Sandbox avatar, right? The kind of more human type of equipment. And also
they are a bit taller than the Gotchi, because the Gotchi is based on the small template versus the other who are medium template. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you could theoretically get, like, in the middle we see the Bushido Gotchi equipment. This is based off the Bushido Gotchi wearables in Aavegotchi, but these are actually Sandbox equipment. And you're saying you could mix and match. You could do whatever you want.
Exactly. You could put the Bushido or the big armor. I don't know the name of this equipment, but the big armor on the left, you can put it in on your Gotchi, and your Gotchi will have an armor bigger than him, actually. But that's what kind of what I like about mix and match, and even if, I mean, we are not photorealistic, it's voxels, so most of the time it looks very funny to do this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, break some rules. It's cartoony and especially on the Gotchi side. So we got to embrace the weird, and you could do. I love that idea. I actually wasn't aware of that. So I could put these equipments on the Gotchis and not just more human,
from
larger.
A game design, we didn't want to restrict people too much, player and owner of NFTs. So we choose to make any NFT compatible with any avatar from a gaming point of view. As I say, sometimes it looks funny, sometimes it looks cranky. I mean, doesn't mind your avatar has the equipment and can use it. Yeah, exactly. Embrace the world.
Oh yeah, especially from Austin, they love that. That's the city's call to action. So love it. I see another question that came through. I'm going to pull it up here because I think I know the answer, and it ties to equipment. Correct me if I'm wrong. So we're talking about the memorabilia badge. Is that the that's the comic book, right? That's the physical prize. And people were asking how do you win that physical prize if there's only 50 of them? Can we revisit that? And I believe the answer requires equipment, right? Legendary equipment.
Yeah, I think the question is more oriented through the badge you can collect in Sandbox dashboard.
We have a tradition of memorabilia for some events, not all events, but some events. Usually very big one. I don't know in that case, maybe Corentin. I don't know if there is a more memorabilia or not.
Not for this event, no. Been some time since we've done some memorabilia, but there are plenty of other ways to get a memories from the experience, I guess.
You could earn sand and buy your equipment, your Gotchi equipment. That would be your memorabilia.
Yeah, exactly. And so the way JC, well, about the book, which is I think the best memorabilia. Yes, the conditions to be eligible to claim yours on the Aavegotchi website merch is to collect at least one legendary equipment before the snapshot is taken. So it's the Bushido set, which is the one in the middle. If you just have one piece of that set in your in your wallet by the snapshot time, you would receive for free the book at your house.
Okay, so in simple terms, I need at least one of the Bushido equipments, and then I need to beat the game before the
Yeah.
snapshot.
Don't even need to beat the game for that one. Just have it. It's even better if you finish the game, and it's way more easier with the katana to kill liquidators. So don't hesitate to get one. And
Oh, that's
yeah.
it's not just aesthetic; it's actually a buff. It will
Yeah,
actually help you.
it has an impact. It's limited as Sandbox is taken, I guess, a lot of care about the fact that one equipment don't have to be a game breaker from another one, but it gives you a little bit of advantage. Yeah.
Okay,
And
that's
as
super.
in other game, same way as for Avatar, you can use them in other game. But depending on the creator spirit, if creator when they create a game, they allow player to come with their own equipment, you could use this equipment in other game. It's in I mean, equipment are not at all restricted to only one experience. It really depends on what was the creator spirit. Do they want to make something very specific and to control all the parameters, or do they want to allow a player to come with their equipment and to play with whatever they have in their inventory? Yeah.
Is this true? Katana no longer available, sold out. They're going fast, people.
I guess you have to make some offer on secondary market if you want one now.
Okay, yeah, that's true. That's where I'm headed at right after this call. So, oh my gosh. Yeah, I didn't realize it had like would be basically making me a little bit easier, helping me beat the game and in other games. So a little shout out. I noticed that the big launch just before the Aavegotchi experience was related to Gucci. I mean, you guys work with some of the best brands in the world, and I haven't hopped in there and checked it out yet, but I feel like I would be not out of place and quite fashionable if I jump in with the Bushido setup.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So the
I don't want to
Gucci
overdress.
experience is all about the Cosmos exhibition. So Gucci is running um, an exhibition all over the world, and at the moment it's in London, and it's an exhibition about the story of their brand, and so it's all about outfit and about the story of Gucci. And yes, going there with a with a katana would be quite fashionable. It's a multiplayer experience, you would see. But you cannot eat other. I mean, it's not
Other player yet. Yeah, right. That was the question.
But for sure, going with a
Yeah.
Gucci there would be quite. Maybe you can inspire some Gucci people for their next collection. I don't know. Who knows?
I like it. In terms of another thing that we promised to cover on this is like the actuality, as you called it, Farmy. So could you touch on that, because this might appeal to other people in Gotchi Gang, other DAOs, other builders and creators, right?
So we mentioned two topics that were late actuality for you guys. The first one, I think, is the GMF budget, which was announced in Hong Kong, I guess. I think you would like to incentivize people to create on Sandbox platform. And the second one was about game jam and hackathon, right? You have a lot of events like that, so maybe you would like to cover those topics.
Yes, of course. So I don't know if there are some creators among. I guess there are some creators among the Aavegotchi community, and maybe playing the Gotchi experience in the sandbox may have inspired some people. So yeah, some announcements were made at the Creators Day in Hong Kong few days before. First one is that the sandbox is now an open metaverse. Everyone is now can publish any experiences on their land. So as you know, the sandbox is formed of more than 160,000 land, and you can publish experiences on them. It was in the past restricted to our partners, but now everybody can publish on it. That's how maybe you will be able to publish the Gotchi experience in land that you might buy in the future to keep it live in the sandbox. So another announcement that was made, so it was about the GMF. So maybe some people know about the Game Maker Fund, which was like part of it as a line producer, and we're supporting creators to create more experience. So we're building a new model for it. So there will be more announcements next year, early 2024. But yeah, so we keep focusing on helping creators, pushing the experience on the map, and a way to get found to publish amazing experience like we did with the JFA team for this experience. And maybe last announcement that were made, and that touched directly myself because I was appointed as a game jam program manager, is that we're gonna launch more than 30 game jam next year. So if you're creators, that's an amazing way to get yourself published in the sandbox, because we usually do game jam with the IPs. For example, we have a game jam running with Avengers Sevenfold currently, and winners are gonna get published on the Avengers Sevenfold land. So yeah, a great way to as a creator to start in the sandbox ecosystem, maybe get published and get rewarded for it. So a lot
I
of
mean,
exciting things for creators starting now, and that will keep on next year's. There's a lot of other stuff that will come new in the sandbox.
the Web3 space right now, in terms of the gaming particularly, is really, I think, hitting its stride and kind of growing to a new phase where the products are much more polished, the gameplay is on point, and the tokenomics of the earlier days are kind of getting worked out a little better. Like there's just a higher level of quality being output. And if you're looking at joining any game jams and you can work within the sandbox and get published, I mean, that's pretty powerful. So it's the right time and the right place. I just think that's amazing. And maybe it's an opening for more Aavegotchi and Sandbox cross collaboration. I hope this is the start of something longer term, and there's just so much we have in common. In fact, I got to give a shout out. We are big fans of the team over at GBM Auctions, and they've helped us create some really some of the most enjoyable experiences in the Aavegotchi platform. This is a team that has created a way for auctions where if you get outbid, you actually feel good about it, because some of the person who outbid you, their funds come back to you. It's some of the most creative use of smart contracts I've seen. And I just saw the headline, a few days ago, that there will be a GBM auction in the Sandbox. And I think it's just fantastic that you guys are also partnering with them. And it's one of those types of experiences you can only have on chain. It wouldn't work without Web3 and crypto and blockchain. So super cool.
Yeah.
Is that going to be with a particular, are you kind of trying it out with a very certain sale of some kind with a partner, or is it kind of, what does that look like? Do you have any details you could share?
You mean for the game
It's
jam?
lands, I guess, right?
I mean, for
No,
the
it's for
GBM.
a sale of
Oh,
it's for the
Okay.
a sale of lands, I guess. I guess I saw the intel running. It's a part of the map which is going to be sold through GBM auctions, Jesse, I guess.
Amazing. Well, kudos to you guys and Sandbox team for bringing them in on something, because like the headline there just said, their slogan is everybody wins. And Gotchi Gang, we've implemented it for land sales, for various NFT sales over the years. And it's by far one of our most popular features. People just love it. I love it. Farmy, you could attest to that too, right? So
Oh
let's
yeah, I
see here.
tested
As
it
we,
too much.
yeah, it's one of those great things to go hands-on. Now, we promised some giveaways where there is no auction needed. Farmy, can you spill the beans on any giveaways related to today's AMA? And I saw you tweeted something out about this, right? So what's
Yeah, yeah, we would like to reward the people being here today. So there is a tweet which was issued uh, 15 minutes before on GFA Twitter. Well, you just have to like retweet. I think it's we can say it's a 20-minute window which opens now, and we will select one person who like retweet, and he will receive like a piece of the pet set, the butterfly equipment in his wallet.
Oh, it's nice.
So
The one with the pink particles. Yeah, it's great.
yeah. So I think I put the link on YouTube already. I put also the link under the Twitter space. So don't hesitate to go over there, and the winner will be announced. I would say in 30 minutes.
okay,
And
great.
yeah, on my side, I really want to thank you all guys for being here today. That project made it through thanks to you. Um, that's a great part of the success we have today. So thank you very much, guys, and hope we'll continue to collaborate all together. Very cool.
Well, thanks a lot, but it's not just us. It was a full team working on that. So really, on my side, I want to thank the team, the artist, the producer, and everybody who work on it. Yeah, it's a lot of people trying to make the metaverse more interoperable, and it's very good for everybody when we succeed like that. Very good.
Yeah, I think it was really an amazing project with a lot of different aspects, and we learned a lot by connecting this program to success that we know now. So I hope that's just the beginning, and that there will be new collaboration to go further.
Yeah, I can't agree more. And I'll just end with another shout out to the website you just saw there on screen. I mean, it's actually not sandbox.com. I think that was a typo earlier. It's sandbox.game, right?
That game,
And then,
yeah, indeed.
yeah, so sandbox.game. And you can get started. There's no barriers to entry. There's no friction. This is easy. Hop in, and especially if you do own an Aavegotchi, you're going to have some really cool voxel versions waiting for you. And it's just there. Just go ahead and connect. And if not, there is Gotchi lending at aavegotchi.com. And I'm going to throw up the blog as well if you want to keep track of all the cool initiatives, including work and related to this Ripples of the Gotchiverse project. Just go to blog.aavegotchi.com and follow along. We've got a mail list, of course, you can join, and there's going to be a lot of alpha in there in the weeks and months ahead, because both, I believe, the Sandbox team and us, we're really kind of hitting our stride, and a lot of various Aavegotchi games are in the pipeline, and yeah, we're going to continue. I believe there might be more to this story with the Sandbox, right, Farmy? I believe there's a multiplayer potential. I know I'm hoping for it. Is there anything you guys could end with some out that front, or is that just a
Alpha
wish of
alert.
mine?
Alpha alert. Well, we are working on something. It was presented to the DAO. Would like to become a bit more ambitious now, so things are going to be discussed to be able to use as much as we can the possibilities of Game Maker 0.9 with multiplayer features. So that would be the idea of it, and maybe some partnerships in it. But yeah, that's going to be quite cool, I guess.
Oh,
You have
Jesse,
your mic off, Jesse.
yeah, we
Right.
don't hear you anymore.
That's good. I was just talking crazy, but no, I was saying please follow GFA Gotchi French Army, especially on Twitter. You've still got a chance to get some cool rewards tonight, and yeah, I mean, from the game, the one thing I regret we didn't touch on here, maybe we should address it real quick, is the lore and the story that you guys came up with for this. I think it's just a wonderful, timeless story, and it speaks to anyone who appreciates the the blockchain and what the blockchain offers people. Because with a blockchain, that data is there forever, right? As long as that blockchain continues to work, the data within it is incorruptible and it's going to stay. And so that leads into your story. Could you just give the synopsis of the story here real quick to conclude, Gotchi Farming?
Yeah. So the story takes place in a dystopian world in the future. So something like 70 years from now. And the story begins in a flat. So that's the place you land when you arrive in the experience. And from them, the hero, the young boy, he received a message, a mysterious message on Lenster, which is the Twitter of the future. We don't have to say it too loud, but so he received a message on chain from someone he loves, and it brings him to embark in a quite tumultuous adventures, yeah, and to discover the Gotchiverse.
Yeah, I think that's so cool.
And
Like I
as you
can imagine.
mentioned, yeah, go on. Sorry.
No, just it's a wonderful story. I mean, the family aspect, but also the fact that we like to think it's very possible the data and the hardware wallets and the things we're working with now theoretically should be multi-generational types of assets that go well into the future. And so you've kind of merged classic storytelling with a great blockchain element. I think it's really great. So with that, I think we'll bring it to a conclusion with this. We'll end it with a great visual of the in-game screenshot. I see some spooky looking gotchis in the corner marching the streets of the Citadel. And yes, I did find that is actually my Aavegotchi up on there staring at the avatar from afar. So to see that gotchi, it's me. I'd like to thank all of you for coming in. This was a great conversation. I hope we shed some light on all the hard work that went into this from all sides. And definitely go check the game out. You can see the address right there at the bottom. Sandbox.game has a lot of experiences waiting for you there. Cedric, Quentin, and Gotchi Farming, thank you so much.
Well, thank you for
very
you,
much,
thank you
guys.
for everybody who worked on this project, and happy to see you at some time in a multiplayer event or game. See you.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you very much,
Always.
guys. Have a good afternoon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.